This is Dragon Island Blue, a very old mobile game that I've played for years. Over that course of time, I believe that I have found the practically perfect start to Dragon Island Blue. So without further ado, let's get to it. The game starts off letting you pick your starting dragon. Each has a relationship to the others based on their element. So water beats fire, fire beats earth, earth beats air, and air beats water. For the start of this game, I'm going to choose the earth dragon. You start your journey in the small town of Korova in the southwest corner of the map with just you and your very first monster to go for it. But we're going to need a better team in order to get the practically perfect start that I'm going for. So during the course of this game, we're going to be searching for these 7 monsters in the starting area. We're looking for a fire cub, snow cub, Noco, fairy, penguin, a dragon, which we already have, and a carnoraptor. Now, if we can find all 7 of these monsters before we leave this first area, we are well on our way to that practically perfect start. We are going to keep track of our start with our practically perfect meter. Every time we catch one of the 7 monsters, we're going to add a little tick. We get our first tick because we have our dragon. Now we're going to start the game by grabbing some quests, because that's what you do in games. We can take 3 quests at a time. Our first quest is going to be to capture our very first monster. Second quest is going to be to defeat 10 monsters out in the wild. And the third quest we're going to grab is to defeat a local breeder that's hostile to the guild. A little bit of a rogue chase down. Very exciting stuff. So we're going to back out of this screen and we're going to leave town and go on our very first adventure. We're going to start by heading west across the woods. So this first spot is where we can find a Bitewing. Bitewing is not on our list of 7 monsters that we're looking for, but it is crucial to completing our list. A Bitewing is 1/2 of the recipe that we need for the Carnoraptor. So we're going to nab this one up early, go ahead and snag that catch, call it good, and we are well on our way. Got to go ahead and head back to town real quick and collect our reward, which is an egg, and this allows us to spin a wheel and hopefully get another monster or some other resource that'll help us along our quest. You can time these, but I'm more of a live free, and that's a gem. All right, not the best thing we could have picked up there, but still not bad. We're going to go ahead and grab our next quest, which talks about a barbarian deep in the forest to the west. So we're going to head that way, but not go all the way, stop in this middle portion, and we are going to search for, there it is. That's the one we wanted. We're out here picking up a fairy. Fairy is a great early game monster. It's got an ability to put other monsters to sleep, which comes in very handy in the early game. It's also strong against, well, I won't tell you what it's strong against because now we got to go find a second one. So we're going to stick in the same spot. We're going to see if we can't get lucky. All right, there we go. There we go. Another fairy. Perfect. So, as I was saying, your fairy is going to be great for an early game support monster. They've got a hypnosis that puts other mons to sleep. They've got a bonus against death monsters, which we are going to see quite a few of in the early stages. So a fairy is a great pickup, and this one is coming along with us. Right on. Go ahead and mark that we got our fairy and give ourselves a second tick on the meter. Excellent. This is a great start. All right, we're going to head back and go ahead and heal up. Before we head a little to the north, now this spot on the map right above this house is where, if we are lucky with RNG, we can track down the water hatchling, which would be our second dragon in this area, and that's an amazing start. RNG is real though. We have a 0.01 or it's a 0.1 chance to find the water hatchling. It's a very low chance. So if you're not up for the grind, don't do it. You can come back later, or you can get lucky on some spins to get a water dragon. But I like to come here at least for the first 10 monsters every single playthrough. I have to defeat 10 monsters. It doesn't matter where I defeat them. If I can maybe get a lucky roll, I would like to be here and lucky roll a water hatchling. But that's 6 out of 10 monsters, so we'll go ahead and do 4 more here and see if we get lucky. All right, the luck does not appear to be with us, so we're going to go ahead and finish off this goblin, and then we are going to head back to town and turn in this 10 monster quest. We get a reward for it, and our reward is going to be a lonely wolf, which is huge because this is the second monster we need for that Carnoraptor recipe, which means that we are all set to go once we get to that level. Go ahead and pick up a new quest, and this one is about evolving our first monster. Go ahead and gather that up, and we are going to take a look. That looks pretty good for a lineup. We are going to head up north towards the cave. Before we can hit that cave, though, we are going to have to duel with our rival. Our rival only uses fire monsters, which means if you pick water at the beginning, you're going to have a really good, easy beginning fight. But you can get plenty of really strong water monsters later in the game, and your rival fight is one fight. Most of the monsters you're going to find in this area of the game are all air monsters, which means your earth monster is the better option. But let's go ahead and see if we can't wrap this fight up pretty quick. There we go. Get our XP, get a skill point, and we are going to get a gem. Now that we're done with that, we can head into the North Cave. And in this cave, we have a chance to find 3 of the monsters on our list. We're looking for a penguin, we're looking for a snow cub, and we're looking for the fire cub. All right, so I can see up ahead a penguin, which is on our list. So we're going to continue our upward movement and see if we can't catch this penguin. There. What do we got? We're going to spend the silver to get a guaranteed catch. And bingo, bango. We've got our penguin. Let's go ahead and tally it up. So that's 3 of the monsters off our list. 1/3 of the capture challenge is done. And we are now only looking for 2 more monsters in this cave, being the snow cub and the fire cub. Let's see what else is on this floor. All right, here we go. And that's job done. All right, here we go. Evolve our first monster. So the dragons are really nice in that they evolve super early. Helps the early game out because now they're going to be a even stronger monster for us. But let's keep searching around. Gather that waypoint. Acts as a checkpoint in here. And what do we got here? Ho, 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 ho. Yes. All right. So we're going to want to take both the snow cub and the giant turtle if we can. So we're going to hit snow cub. We're going to get rid of the bat squirrel. Try and get that 3-on-2 analyzed so we can see exactly how much HP we are working with. 43 there, 93 there. So we have a neutral matchup with our dragon. So we're going to hit for there. Leaves us with 20. That's a better matchup for the bird. Here we go. Boom. That's exactly where we want that snow cub. And we'll lose our fairy in the process, but that's okay. We're going to spend the silver for a 98% chance. Boom. All right, now we have to get rid of this turtle before the catch will let us keep. If all our monsters are knocked out or defeated before we end the battle, the catch disappears. So we got to be very careful that we don't just take it and run. Okay, we're going to skip the penguin. We're going to skip the dragon. Do a little strategic skippage to get to the wolf and lower the HP as much as we can. Here we go. We're going to spend the silver again. 100% catch rate. That's our turtle for us. So again, even though the turtle wasn't on our catch list, it is on our challenge list. So we're going to catch that if we can. And here we are. This is our first encounter with Cyrus, who is the most polite barbarian you will ever meet. And he's got a bit of a scary team right off the bat if you're not prepared and just exploring. He's got 3 goblins, and behind those goblins he has a fire cub, which you can see now, and a snow cub. So these cubs, they're tough. They don't look it. They look cute. They look cuddly. They're adorable, but they are tough monsters, and they only get better as they level up and grow. So we are going to do our best to gain up on 1 and try and get a nice quick 3-on-1 victory. And that should do it. Excellent. Cyrus has been defeated. Get some levels, get some XP, and we are going to stay in this spot because Cyrus gives us a tip that we can find a Noco in this spot. Here we go. Looking for our Noco. There it is. All right. So we're going to get rid of this bat squirrel first. And hopefully our fairy stays alive until we can hit our analyze. And now we are dealing with a Noco with 54 HP. It's good to know. Both wolf and dragon are going to suffer a type disadvantage here. But with 54, that should do okay. 20, that was a high roll. Okay. Now we're getting into it. So let's see what you got here. 10. 24's left. Let's go ahead and risk a high roll. Excellent. All right, that's exactly where we wanted this Noco. We're going to go ahead and spend the silver to capture our Noco, and that is another monster done. Job done. All right. Head back to town. Heal up really quick. We're going to grab our reward for beating Cyrus. And both these monsters that are available as like the good monsters to get in this, I don't really use. So we're going to just go for broke on the wheel, random, and see what we can get. Another gem. So as we cross the bridge, we run into our first dragon boss. This game is littered with dragon bosses that either block your direct movement through the game, or they're off to the side a little bit and you have to go search them out. But each of them is very difficult to handle, but at the same time they give great rewards. So it's well worth the effort to go out of your way and hunt down these dragon bosses. This first one, of course, is blocking your path. The only way out of the Korova area is to go across this bridge where you run right into the Dragon Overlord. All right, but that's that. Job done. And this one dropped us a golden egg. Now, golden eggs are important because you can get a dragon with it. So it looks like we have a chance to land ourselves a second Earth Dragon, which would be amazing if we can time this right. So we're looking. Gonna go there. Come on. Boom. And we're looking for this spot right here where we run into my least favorite NPC, Ivo. Now, Ivo looks cool. He is cool, but his team is only built from the wolf line. Bingo, bango. Job done. Quite a bit of XP going around to everybody. And a lot of levels. But most importantly, what we got is the Carnoraptor recipe. So, I'm going to take that back home. A little tutorial on how to do it. We're going to hop back to Korova. And we're going to open up the Monsterpedia. This is kind of like your Pokédex, if you will, where it holds all your information about your monsters and what monsters you can make. And there we have our Carnoraptor. The monster that we absolutely have to get is this Fire Cub, which is making itself very scarce. And as I say that, here we have our Fire Cub. So, let's get rid of the Bitewing out of the way. And let's go ahead and hit our analyze so we can pull up our Fire Cub. 54 HP. Okay. We're fighting uphill battle in terms of type with our dragon, so we're going to hit that. That's a beautiful thing. We are going to risk it for the biscuit. And there we have it. There's our Fire Cub. All right. So with that, we can go ahead and hit our Fire Cub and our meter. And that is job done. We've also completed our challenge. So we get our egg. And let's see if we can't spin something lucky. Bat squirrel, that's about as worse as you could possibly get. But we're going to head back to town because we have completed a quest. We got to spin one more egg. And I would really like that lich if I could get that lich. Right about there, I think. Oh, just missed the goal. Close, but no cigar. All right, so here we are back at the start. We have our full team that we wanted right here. And this is what I think is going to be your best start. Now, you can always add more to it if you wanted to go RNG the water hatchling, or if you are really good at spinning that wheel and you can get a dragon from the golden egg. Sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't, but I don't let it hold me back. This is about as close to a perfect start as you could hope for to really set yourself up for the late game. Your cubs are great attackers. Your Noco will evolve into one of the best monsters in the game. Your fairy is great for early game support and against death monsters. Penguin's your niche one. Not going to really use it much longer, but it's a strong air monster right at the beginning. Your dragon's going to be with you the whole game. And the Carnoraptor is going to act as your air coverage, at least for the next couple of rounds. So you're about as set as you could possibly be. Thank you so much for watching. If you did play this game or you are a huge fan of it, go ahead and leave me a like or a comment. Let me know what your practically perfect gameplay is. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.